Welcome, I'm Matthew Tomer, City of Venice Fire Rescue. We're going to show you our Enforcer chassis, 100-foot Ascendant aerial tower. We'll start in the front, start with the suspension. We have independent suspension on the front. This is the TAC 4. Back here, we did go with a transverse full body width compartment with a slide out. So typically where you have your pump panel, we chose to go without a pump on our tower. We went with the more traditional tower company and we wanted more compartment space. So instead of a pump, we went with a transverse full body width compartment. Goes full body from driver's side to officer's side with a slide out tray. This just allows another way of managing and storing tools. We went without swinging doors to maximize compartment space. We wanted to ensure that whatever the crews needed, we were able to fit. We chose to make the middle compartment open without the dividers to allow for a full-size air pack, RIT bag, anything that was needed in there. Inside the compartment, we went with a opening door to allow for more tool and storage. Also, this door can be adjusted forward and back depending on what we want to store in here. For the rear suspension, we went with the T3 mechanical rear steer. City of Venice, like most communities, we have tight spaces and need to get our tower ladder in and out of them, so this is going to enable us to maneuver better. We also opted for the super singles instead of doing with the individual dualies to reduce wear and tear and flex on the tires as we're making those turns. So between the T3 mechanical steer and the super single dualies, we should have less wear and tear on our rear end of this truck. Moving back here, we went with the underbody storage to allow for shoring up equipment, cribbing, stuff of that nature. We went with the typical slide out trays option. You could maneuver the other trays up and down. And we also put 12-volt capable wiring ready back there for anything that we want to choose to do in the future. When you move to the rear of our tower, we chose to go with a 9/11 theme. We want to never forget the sacrifices that the men and women made before us coming along. So we chose to do that on all our apparatus for the past few apparatus that we've purchased. These chevrons, we actually followed them around to the corner. Instead of doing the typical diamond plate, we wanted just more chevrons for reflective ability when we're working on the interstate and heavy traffic areas. Inside, you get your normal NFPA complement ground ladders. Underneath, we just have little storage space for additional equipment and tools. Now, when you move to the officer's side rear, we went with a 120-volt system, pre-plumbed and ready for all the batteries and everything we need to charge. So we have that along with the 12-volt pre-plumbed for future uses, anything we may need. We chose to make the cabinets in here a little more open to allow for specific extrication equipment and tools to be stored on the slide out tray, giving the crews more options when it comes to outfitting this piece of apparatus. Another transverse item that's full body width would be our Stokes basket storage. Traditionally, you store them on the roof or up by the ladder. We wanted this so it stayed out of the elements and the weather. To follow along with the driver's side, we just went with the open compartments to allow for different items and tools to be stored, along with options with the wall that slides in and out and forward and back depending on what we put in there. More traditional storage options. This will be the other side of the large transverse storage behind the main cab. The tray that you saw on the driver's side also slides out on the officer side of the apparatus as well. So you have access to it from both sides. When you move to the inside of our tower, we went with maximizing storage. You have the 2 outward storage boxes along with an oversized storage in between 2 of the seats for crew. We are an ALS service and we carry a lot of equipment that may end up on the tower in the future, so we want to plan for the growth of our paramedic program along with anything a tower company could possibly want or ever need. On the officer side, we'll show you our side cab. This is more for quick grab equipment and tools, whether it be ALS or small officer items that they want. Pre-plumbed with power for any device or equipment that needs power supplied. Officer side is your traditional officer side of an aerial ladder. Following through with our matte black and gloss black along with the red, we went with a matte black bell. We wanted the traditional bell, but we want to come with the new design and style that the firefighters and officers wanted. We also added a Roto-Ray, which typically you see these a little higher. We moved it down so it doesn't distract the driver and the officer when they're responding to calls. We want to thank 10-8 and Bradenton for walking us through this process and this build, along with all the citizens of the City of Venice that trust us to protect their property and life. And thank you for watching.